Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Monday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to our friends over in the US, and of course we're heading to Malibu in California. Of course, to speak with the Pepperdine women's basketball team, because we've got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us how the preseason's going, heading up to that first game this week. Thanks both for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position we're hoping to see both of you on the court once the season gets underway this week.
I'm Jayla, Ruffus, Milner, and I play in number 14, and I'll also be playing the 4 this season.
I'm Eve Braslis. I'm number 23, and I was playing the 3, but we've had some injuries and moving players around a bit, so we'll probably see me in the 4 a bit more this season.
How's it been in the preseason heading towards that first game this week?
It's been good. It's been pretty full on. We've been on a steep learning curve with a couple of new freshmen and new offenses, trying to get the hang of them and playing well together. We just had our first scrimmage this weekend, which I think was good for us as a team to see, what we have to work on, what's going well, what's not, and that we've got a big week ahead of us before our first game.
Yes, are you excited about that first game, counting down those days to you finally get to play in front of crowds this year?
Yes, most definitely excited for the first game to come, and looking forward to just starting off strong and learning from every game, and seeing what things we can tailor, what things we can work on, get more reps at. I'm excited to play with people in the stands, being able to watch us, because last year is really quiet, silent, very awkward. So it's getting back to more of a normal kind of feel with basketball.
Eve, I need to ask you this question. Did you get a chance to return home during this your summer over there, or did you manage just to stay in the US?
I did. I went back, had to quarantine in Sydney for 2 weeks, and then I had 6 weeks at home, and then headed back to the US in July. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your coaches there at Pepperdine for both of you.
Yeah, we've got 2 new assistant coaches this year who we didn't have last year, and we're really excited about them. They've got a lot of experience under their belt, so they bring a lot of new knowledge and information to the table, I think. And we have Biro, our other assistant coach, who's again, same, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. So I think they're sort of that group that they have really helps support Coach Kristen and help guide each player depending on which position the coach is in.
What's the expectations for this team going into this year?
Definitely gonna have a better season than last year. So we have an expectation of finishing top 4. So that's a goal of ours. It's not going to be an easy thing to do, a very high expectation for the season. But I definitely think it's something that we can reach if we continue to make adjustments and learn, and everyone be vulnerable about what changes we can all make, players and coaches all together. So I think we have a lot of potential to do extremely well. Definitely better than last season. Last season was not the best for us, so we are definitely going to take that and learn from it as well.
I guess, is there a couple players in the team we should watch out for, other than yourselves, for our Aussie listeners and viewers that are going to be watching your game on live stream?
Yeah, we have one of our freshmen, Ali, is she's, like I said, people have been moved around. She's a great player. She's come in really confident. She plays the 2, but they've had to push her to the 3 to the 1 because of injuries. And I think, I'm excited to see how she goes and watch her sort of step up, see what she brings sort of to our team. And
yeah, and also sophomore Jane Waba. She also is a very talented individual in our team, energy, lots of hustle. Just love watching her play. So personally, so I would say she's definitely someone to look out for as well.
I know your program's been very lucky to have a lot of Australians that's gone over there. Obviously, Monique and Mia was there for the last couple of years. Now you're over there, Eve. How special was it to have, a couple of Australians on the team in your first year, Eve? And now, obviously, now you're the only Aussie over there at the moment.
Right. Well, I've had, obviously I transferred. So I was fortunate enough to have all my 3 years to have another Australian on the team. And this is my first year not having another Aussie. It's, going to be tough, obviously. I think it's nice to have a little bit of home, even if I didn't know Mo or Monique before I came over, but just, little differences and stuff that Australians just get that maybe Americans are like, what too? So it's going to be weird this year being the only one and being the only one who gets made fun of for having an accent, but I think I'll be all right.
How special is to have each other on the same team, and what have you learnt from each other?
Personally, it's been really cool I redshirted my first year here because I transferred, so it was cool watching Jayla, I guess, just play 110% every single game. For me, that was really inspiring, and how hard she just goes after it on the court. And like locks down the best player, it does, even if they're the point guard and our coach just ask her to play on them, just is like, yep, all right, got that, and just goes out and then locks them down. And yeah, so for me, I think that was something I liked watching from you last year and learned from you.
I would say with Eve, since she got here, she's very dedicated, has a very strong work ethic when it comes to basketball and all things outside of that as well. But just kind of seeing her drive also helps motivate and fuel me to, do the extra work. And so just having her here is, it's an inspiration. And I definitely learn a lot from her, and it helps encourage me to be a better basketball player. I'm excited to see her play this year because she didn't get to last year, but she goes hard in everything that we do in practice, and she's gonna get, and I know she's gonna do really well. We both play the same position, so in practice, she doesn't make it easy for me. So my defense is definitely gonna get better, to say the least.
That's my next question about how has scrimmage gone when you versed against each other, but Jayla just answered that one for me, so I'll move on, which is, how did both of you get involved in basketball and why did you choose it?
Well, I started playing basketball around 12 years old, just for fun. It helped me get into a really good high school, and so that just helped fuel me. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that my basketball could bring opportunities, and so it also fueled me getting a scholarship here at Pepperdine, and just I have a very strong drive to learn, so that's really one of my main reasons for sticking with it, and it continues to motivate me. But yeah, I just came around basketball by chance. My mom doesn't play basketball at all, hasn't played college sports, anyone in my immediate family. So, it just kind of came to me and I've stuck with it, and I really enjoy all the opportunities it has brought.
I got into it around like 7 or 8, maybe. My best friend at the time was going to some basketball clinic and was like, hey, come along, I need a friend. And just from then on, just started playing, I guess. Went to, did all the state stuff, Siebel when it was Siebel, not NBL1 in Australia. Loved all of that, and just loved who I got to play with in Australia, honestly. The different, the big names and stuff to learn from, was amazing. And then to play in Utah for 2 years was really cool, great learning experience. And then to transfer here in the WCC, I'm just constantly trying to get better, trying to improve my game in whatever way I can, and you just keep playing for as long as I can. Honestly, that's my goal. I'm getting my education as well to use when my body can't play basketball, but let's keep that dream going and keep playing for as long as I can.
And what would be some highlights throughout both your basketball journeys so far in general?
And there's a lot, honestly. I have a lot in Australia playing with Siebel when we won in, I think it was 2018 or 2017. And then the same year we won nationals for Country Vic, which was like the first time in 17 years the women had won. So that was really awesome. And then highlights, just playing in general, just being here at Pepperdine is gonna, I know I'm gonna have highlights from game to game. And then at Utah I had a lot, we had some buzzer beaters, yeah. So there's just, honestly, there's highlights in every game, but it's not always just the big wins, Highlights for me is like improving like my shot, working on that and getting more consistent is, there are also highlights as well.
Yeah, I would say for me, basketball has brought many opportunities to meet new people from all over. And so being able just to connect with people and hear their different life experiences has been extremely eye-opening. And I'm not sure how else I would have, been able to experience the things that I have. So just in a general thing, that's a very big hallmark for me. I would say another is just being here at Pepperdine, having a full scholarship, being able to pursue my academics has been a goal of mine since I could remember. So I would say that's also one of the biggest ones. And then, basketball allows you to travel a bit. So you get to see new things. And I love doing that. So I would say those are pretty much the top.
Jayla, I need to ask you this question. Obviously, you're from California. I guess, why did you end up choosing Pepperdine?
I think Pepperdine, well, the coach that recruited me, she's no longer here. So that was one of the main pulls as well. But another pull was honestly the value of academics here as well. It wasn't just so focused on basketball, and the culture there is also focused on developing you as an entire person, on the court and off the court. And so I would say that's really one of the things that pulled me here. It being, a smaller institution too. I like that sense of community where you don't just feel like a number. And obviously the location, we're literally right next to the beach. So that's pretty amazing. And it's close to home, like 40-minute drive. So my twin sister also goes here and was offered a scholarship. So it was just a very safe and welcoming choice for us at the time.
So following up from that question then, Jayla, you mentioned that you got a sister that's over there as well, at Pepperdine. Is she involved in any sports? And if so, who's the better athlete out of both of you?
My sister, yes, we both do play on the basketball team. And I would say that's a hard question to answer because many people like to ask us that question. My sister and I, we've both been on the same journey with basketball, but unfortunately, she's had 2 ACL surgeries. So that really stunted just her growth, mentally and physically with basketball, I would say. But she's very strong and very smart. And so she has still been able to achieve, my position of just being here, getting a scholarship. And I don't think a lot of people could do that, to be honest, put in her shoes. So I would say we play differently, but I could not say that I'm better or that she's better than me. I think we're better at different things overall. I just think we go hard at everything. We're not the best at everything, but we go hard at everything we can. So.
Now, for both of you, what does the sport of basketball mean to both of you, and especially being there at Pepperdine?
For me, it's been, a year and a half since I've really played a game because I had to redshirt, and it gets pretty monotonous just practicing every day. And then we finally had a scrimmage, this last weekend, and that for me was kind of like, dang, I just really love this sport, and I think I love to be able to see how much work you can put in off the court and then see the literal results transfer over into a game. And like I said, I want to just keep playing as long as I can, play professionally, come home and play, like playing in Europe if I can. I just, it's, for me, it's like, the best of both worlds. Like, why not try and get paid to play something that you love, and make it your job? And I mean, I guess for me, Pepperdine's like that stepping stone where I got the red shirt year to develop my game. And then I'm, want to come in, make an impact, and then go on and try and play professionally afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say for me, I'm starting my 4th year here. So I've just learned so much through playing basketball. I think it just makes me feel like I'm a strong individual because you have to go through so much, juggle so much, and really stay on top of your stuff in order to succeed and do well. And I think just picking up those skills through the sport and then through also being a student athlete in general, I think that's just going to help me with whatever else I pursue after I'm done playing basketball. So I'm just very appreciative of the fact that I had the opportunity to learn and to grow and to see that, hard work in these areas, consistency, being disciplined can actually help you see the results that you want.
Do either of you have any future ambitions in the sport of basketball post-college?
No, I don't. Honestly, this is kind of where I draw the line for myself.
Okay.
So for me, I'm just trying to go as hard as I can while here at college for basketball. But yeah.
I mean, definitely for me, want to go home and play in NBL 1 and then possibly the WNBL if I can. And then, like I said, playing the EuroLeague or something. I've got a lot of ideas of where I would love to play. Just got to keep working hard and to try and get there.
A couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates there at Pepperdine. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moments on the court so far in the preseason, and what was it?
Gosh, honestly, I would have to say Kendall has some embarrassing moments. Last year, just thinking the shot clock was at 2 seconds and we had like 10 seconds and shooting almost a half-court shot and making it. Like just so typical of her. Like, yeah. So I mean, I would say probably ends up with some of the most embarrassing moments.
Yeah. I have no idea. I just think of like one moment and there was one practice where Juice always makes Jane always makes me laugh. We call her Juice. And the ball just kept hitting her head in practice. And we stayed after practice to get some extra reps in and like 2 more times. And she just was like she was so over it. So I honestly, I think I laughed like so hard. That made me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
Now who's the comedian, the best singer, the best dancer on the team?
Comedian Juice for sure. Funny, honestly, one of the funniest people I've ever met. Best dancer, I don't know.
Probably
Juice possibly
Juice,
as well. Or
Shy.
Jayla, you and your sister are good. Definitely not me. I'm not in contender for this one.
But singer.
Probably Juice again.
Juice pretty much hits all those.
Oh, right.
Shy as well, I would say.
Well,
Becky sings as well.
Yeah.
We have a good group.
Yeah.
Almost might have answered my next question, which is who's into their TikToks in your team, and is any of them TikTok famous?
I don't think I don't have a TikTok, so I have no idea, but I think Ali and May, they're into TikTok heavy, and I would say Shy, Becky, always trying to make TikToks.
Always.
So
also our Coach Ray, she's for sure into them. Yeah.
The next 3 questions, I always ask the Aussie players that are over there these next 3, which is, have you convinced any of your teammates, including Jayla, to come back with you to Melbourne, Geelong, I should say, more Pacific, when in the off season?
Oh, I mean, honestly, not even just my teammates, any American that I talk to who I say I'm from Australia, I want to go. I want to go there. Like I had from my old school, I had two of my best friends were seniors, and they were supposed to come back as like their senior year, you know, sort of celebration thing, to come visit in Australia. We had like a whole trip planned, but because of COVID, it didn't happen. But yeah, I definitely have convinced, I'd say, the whole team to come out at some point.
Is that something in your bucket list, Jayla?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I would love to travel anywhere. And I'm like, okay, I have a place to stay. If I go.
Right, just use me for my house.
Eve, how's the Aussie accent around your teammates going so far?
Oh, you know, they love to make fun of it. It's my favorite when someone says mum instead of mom, like just a little Australian accent pops out and I just catch it straight away. I'm like, what was that? Was that me making an influence? Are you picking up on my lingo now?
Okay, I'll turn the tables a bit then. How's the American accent going, Eve?
We have a typical Cali girl sort of accent, I'd say, but I wouldn't say it's any good. Apart from sure and Melbourne, Australia.
Now, have you convinced any of your teammates, Eve, that we have kangaroos as pets?
Sure. Easily convinced. It was a lot easier last year with Mo there. We'd just be like we go along with one another when we say things. So like we convinced half the team that we pronounced Achilles Achilles. And we were like, yeah, no, like what, like why are you guys laughing? Like that's how we pronounce it. So it was a lot easier last year because I had someone backing me. But I'm gonna still try and keep that up.
Jayla, I need to ask you this. Do you think we got kangaroos as pets?
No.
Not anymore. She doesn't.
No, she tries to convince me on a lot of stuff. Maybe she got me last year in the beginning, but no, now I don't fall for it anymore. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything until I see it now.
Smart, very smart. I have to ask this one as well. Do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I mean, I have a lot, honestly. It depends on the season. You know, I had to warm up on the specific side of the court down this one line. I have to have the right perfume on. You know, I like my certain pair of socks, all that sort of thing. But, you know, the season hasn't started yet, so new superstitions, I'm sure, will come.
Yeah, I can't say I have any, honestly.
You're normal.
Yeah.
I know you had your team photos recently. I guess any funny team photos we should know about?
I think so, honestly.
So.
We just did a lot of, like, different groups to post on, you know, we have, like, a Puerto Rican, like, national Puerto Rican, and then we have, like, Nigerian group, you know, for like whatever the holiday is celebrating each sort of group. We just did a lot of that sort of stuff, honestly. A lot of punches.
I don't think we took any funny.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I know, boring, sorry.
Now, Eve, I have to ask you this one. You might as well give your local basketball association back home a bit of a shout out.
Green, yes. Yep. Honestly, yeah, without that, I wouldn't be Bellarine without Brendan coaching me for 6 years straight, 7 years. I don't know. It was a long time. It was like my second dad. I was down there so much. And playing with my best friend Rainey was a dream. You know, I didn't realize at the time, but we always talk about it now. We're like, man, we took that for granted. You know, we were with each other every day. You know, we lived half an hour down the road as opposed to, you know, halfway across the world. Yeah, it's really like the good old days, honestly, thinking about playing at Storm.
So this one last one for both of you to answer, which is, what will be your advice to people that should get involved in basketball?
I would say it's easy to get so wrapped into basketball, and, you know, when things don't go your way, or, you know, maybe you get injured or something, and it's like if your identity is just too tightly wrapped around that, it can really become overwhelming with it. So my advice is always to, you know, basketball can be a part of your identity, but it doesn't have to be who you are as an entire person. So just to continue to have other ways you identify. I think that helps when, basketball isn't always going to be going up and you're just so well and, living the highs of it. Sometimes you're going to have those moments where, you're like, oh, wow, should I do this? Because da 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 da. And it's like, yeah, you could still push through it because you have other identities alongside of that help encourage you to stay motivated. So that's what I would say.
I would say kind of similar along the same lines, but just always enjoy it, find what you enjoy about it and keep reminding yourself that, this is what I love about it. This is not, because it gets really heavy, for anyone who's played college basketball, it's every day, and it's not just even on your days off, it's every day, you're still in there, you're weightlifting or you're in there getting shots up, you're staying after practice to get shots up, you're watching film, you're watching scout, like it's heavy, it's full on, it's a lot of work. But, reminding yourself that, like for the games, I still love this sport and this is why I do all the extra work is for these games because it feels so good when you hit that shot, But yeah, I think that has to be, in order to do that, you have to have, like what Jayla was saying, basketball doesn't define you. You have your other identities as well. So when things go wrong, you can still sort of push through them, and ride the wave,
Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having both of you on the show. And we send our best wishes to you and your teammates for this upcoming season in the WCC conference. And let's hope it all goes well. And we can't wait to see how the Waves go in 2021-22 coming up, obviously starting this week against, what was it, Cal State LA coming up.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No worries. And, of course, that's Eve and Jayla. They're joined for the Pepperdine women's basketball team. Of course, we'll put up their team schedule, of course, their games, which you can watch as well on this live stream. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.